many contributions that she made, in addition to which he has really a gift for being able to reach out to people, especially young people in need, and to bring them in and to give them some kind of a spiritual awareness, help them in times of need and crisis, and to give them an in-depth meaning in their lives. He has created communities in California. He has created Moshav in Israel, in Modi'in, which is still existing today, which is making an important contribution to Israeli life. And he gives concerts all over the world of the music that he has created and for which he is so famous. And Shlomo is going to talk to us today about Israel, about New York, he said, about the holiday of Hanukkah, which is the next Jewish holiday that's coming up, the Festival of Lights, in which we commemorate the miracle of the lights burning for 8 days when there was only enough. Also a commemoration of the military victory over the Greeks 2,000 years ago. And so without any more wasted time, I'd like to introduce Shlomo, who I have known, by the way, since I was your age.
Just 1 minute. Miriam neglected to say that this is our last program in our series of programs. The Jewish Studies is proud to present to Vanier, and on that note, know that you're in a context of Jewish Studies.
Great. You can also mention one of the other organizing bodies.
Oh, right. And I should say that we wouldn't be a Jewish Studies program as viable as we are if we didn't have Hillel supporting us, for sure. And do I have to talk about all the other organizing bodies? No, that's enough. Okay.
It's not my guitar, it's a little bit of a lousy guitar. Kind of. How about joining me? Give me some good harmony. Da dee da da dee da 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 dee da dee da da dee da da dee da da dee da 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 da. Boom 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 boom. La 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 give me honey, everyone. This guitar. Okay, my beautiful friends. Who is this great man with a good guitar?
You want some of this later?
Yeah, unbelievable.
This is Rich.
No, the famous Rich. Okay. Say the truth, you know? You sure? Sit down and stand. Okay. You know, when I'm late, I always say that I have to be late, because if I'm on time, I put them aside to shame, right? But he's late. So at least one person will save the Messiah. Okay, my beautiful friends, if you could open your hearts for a few minutes. Yesterday when my friend Ray told me he was coming today to talk about light, I don't think he made it so clear to me, or at least I didn't know that it's... Where's Miriam?
Right here.
Hey, here you go. That my friend Miriam's class about Israel, and what a combination, right? Light and the land of Israel. You know what real light is? Real light is not electric light. I turn it on, I'm looking for a dollar bill and then I find it. That light we always get. That light is always available. Oh, there's something so much deeper than that. You know, friends, imagine I meet a person, I look at them, and you know what they look like. So I know their ears, their eyes. Friends, you know something, the things I want to talk to you about need concentration. Maybe, have you ever talked about concentration, or it's a bad scene?
That's why you're here.
Okay. Maybe that's why I'm not here, you know. Another Messiah is coming. Okay, my beautiful friends, please concentrate, yes? You know what the astronomer says? The astronomer says the greatest cover-up for light is light. Because if it would be dark, you'd look for light. Once you have a little bit of a light, and it covers up that you're not even looking for the real light, for the real depths of it. You know why the world is so dark? Because they think they have a little bit light. They have a few books, they have a car, they have a missile. That's all there is to life. That's all there is to it. You know what people call loving each other? Love each other a little bit, are good to each other, and they call that a good relationship. What a cover-up. You know, friends, really, I'm sorry, but when you're here one time as a guest, I cannot tolerate people talking to each other. Simple as it is. Here I want to begin from the other side. The Ishbitzer says, one of our holy masters says, we always think that the world is afraid of darkness. He says, no, the other way around. The world is so comfortable when it's dark. It feels so good. But Gewalt, you begin shining some light in them. They get all shook up. They run away. There is nothing which frightens the world more than a little bit light. You know, friends, right now, imagine on a political level, without getting involved in politics, God opened so many gates for the world. God opened so many gates. I mean, was there a darker country than Russia? I don't know if you've been there. I was there in 1970 one time. The darkest. There were no young people there. Yeah. When they're 17, they feel like they're 80. People on the street. Have you ever heard anybody laughing on the streets in Russia? No. If you have to be on the street, you walk fast, get home fast. Who talks on the street? Okay, now, thank God. God opened gates, and it's unbelievable. I was in Russia again, 89, and this summer. It's a new country. Unbelievable. So the world should be so happy, thank God. There is a way of bringing peace into the world. But there are some other people who can't stand it, right? Got to make another war. Let's destroy it again. Let's destroy the little bit of light there is. Okay, now I want to share with you something. Have you ever noticed? Imagine you walk into a room and people tell each other dirty jokes. The dark people feel so comfortable. But imagine you walk into a room and there's so much light in the room. It's so beautiful. People sit there and elevate their consciousness a little bit higher. They walk out. Can't stand it. And again, without imposing upon anybody. You know, God said to Abraham, leave the whole world behind you and go to the land which I will show you. And our holy rabbis are asking Abraham a clear prophecy. Why didn't God say to Abraham, hey, listen, wherever you are, you see over there, that's Israel. Abraham can be in New York and can see very clearly Tel Aviv. Why did he have to go there? This is what our holy rabbis tell us. To see the land of Israel is deeper than prophecy. Is deeper than prophecy. And I want you to know the Ishbitzer says, to see another human being is deeper than prophecy. You can be a prophet, and I'll tell you exactly what will happen 1,000 years from now. You know what is possible? I don't know my own children. I don't know my own wife, my own husband. This is deeper than prophecy. That kind of light. That kind of light. Oh, this is so heavenly. This is so heavenly. You know, friends, I personally I'm sorry, you know. You know, friends, I'm not even angry at the world for persecuting Israel. You know what the problem is? They've never seen the land. They've never seen it. They don't know what it is. I'm not even angry at people who hate each other. You know what the problem is? Never seen each other. Never seen each other. Yeah, they've seen their noses, their ears. Never seen the inside. The inside. Let me ask you, my beautiful friends, without being personal, how many of us could say, my parents really saw me? Because it takes more than bringing a child into the world to see the child. How many husbands and wives can say, oh, you know, my husband really knows me. My wife really knows me. So here I want you to know the headquarters for the deepest light in the world, for the deepest. Really seeing the inside of the inside. For the inside of the inside, this is what Israel is all about. It's the land of the inside light. Now please don't take me wrong. I travel over the world. I absolutely love the whole world. It is all beautiful. But Jerusalem, oh, this inside light. Inside, inside, inside. And you know, my beautiful friends, to see the inside is such a privilege. You know, maybe according to some people, the greatest privilege in the world is to be right. Oh, thank God I'm right. As far as I'm concerned, the greatest privilege in the world is when God shows you how wrong you are. You are wrong. It's so much deeper than you'll ever know. I just want to share with you a story which may not be 100% to the point, but it's a little bit to the point. I think I told it to some of you. In Europe, there's a certain city. There's a certain city in Europe, and the davening there, the praying, Shabbos morning is the closest I could possibly imagine. Was maybe before the Second World War. And a lot of times when I'm going to Israel, I stop there, and I go to the synagogue, and the praying is so much fire, so beautiful. The melodies are so good, and just, it's beautiful. That particular year, it's already 15 years ago, I come there Shabbos morning, Saturday morning, and the person who is the cantor, first of all, has no voice. He absolutely has no voice. And then his melodies, I mean really, even Scotch tape couldn't help. And he doesn't know the words, he can't even read Hebrew. So I was sure, most probably he's a rich man, and he has yards that after his father. Most probably he went, says I donate $100 to the synagogue. And I said, what a disgusting thing. You can't even buy God for money at this point. And I thought, it's disgusting. I'm not going to take part in this praying. I went to a corner and I tried to pray for myself. But whenever I heard his voice, got the creeps. What can you do? Then, you know, if some of you have been in the synagogue at a certain point of the service, you open the Holy Ark, and you take out the Holy Scroll, and then you walk around among the people, everybody kisses the Holy Scroll. And that synagogue, the Holy Ark, is just a few steps up. And at this point, who cares? You have to join the community. I'm going up there, and I see that two people are holding the cantor, holding him. I said to somebody, why are they holding him? And they said to me, why, you didn't know him? He's a blind cantor of Lemberg. Before the Second World War, he was a cantor at the biggest synagogue in Lemberg. Thousands of people, one of the best tenors we had. Never when he was in Auschwitz. Not only he lost his voice, I could look at him, I saw scars over his face. Never, they whipped him so much over his face, he has no eyes. And people were begging him, please, one more time, be our cantor. He says, no, I don't know the words, I don't know the melodies, I have no more voice. They begged him so much. Friends, can you imagine how much this person was crying before God? Can you imagine where he reached? I want you to know I was so ashamed of myself. I don't ever remember being so ashamed. I thought to myself, I don't even have ears. This person was really praying. Maybe never in my life I will reach for 1 second to pray like him. And you know what it is? Whenever you're just at the end, that God has compassion upon you, and someone comes to console you. Okay, I'm just really about sinking below sea level. And this Nebuch, this holy cantor, two people are holding him, and he walks around. And then when he passes you by, the custom is you kiss the Holy Scroll. Instead of kissing the Holy Scroll, he kissed his hand. I couldn't go up and tell him, forgive me, you know. So he's turned to the people who were walking with him. He says, who kissed my hand? Someone says, oh, Shlomo Kalba. He stopped, you know, God give me back my soul. He says to me, hey, Shlomo. He says, I like your songs. Oh, I says, thank God, Hashem, you know. I said to him, he says, holy cantor, I'm just your biggest follower in the world. I'm your biggest follower in the world. I want you to know, I stayed there for another week, just to have the privilege of taking walks with him every day was so special. So special. And the most special thing is because 4 weeks later, I called up and they told me he had left the world already. You know what I mean to tell you? You know how much darkness? You know, if I would have come to the synagogue and someone told me, oh, you know, this blind person is davening, I wouldn't have gotten the depth, the light, the deepest depth. But because I went through so much darkness, I was so off. And you know, friends, we Jewish people went through darkness of 2,000 years to go back to Israel. Oh, it's a different light. What a light is shining into us right now. So deep. Kabbalah so deep. And you know, friends, it's crazy. You know, my beautiful friends, you know how much Israel is the center of the world? Not to be believed. You know, I mentioned before, in 1970, I was in Russia, and they have this tourist hotel, and every morning there's a little English newspaper was put, not today, 1970, under the door. I mean, you know how vast Russia is? The biggest in the world, right? And you know what was in this newspaper? The whole newspaper was talking about Israel. The newspaper said, if not for Israel, there would be peace in the world. Russia is bringing peace to the world, and Israel doesn't let. I thought it was crazy. Here I'm a tourist, I'm coming to Russia to hear about Russia. Why they're putting Israel on me? You know why Israel is so important? It's a country of life. But you know what it is? And here I want you to open your heart. According to a holy Kabbalistic tradition, there is two kinds of lights in the world. There is a light of information. It's also a great light. 1 to 1 is 2. It's an unbelievable light, right? Imagine if 1 to 1 is not 2, then everything is falling apart, right? Our whole science today, most of them, 1 to 1 is 2, right? So it's a great light. But this is the kind of light someone explains to you, take your toes or your fingers and count 1 to 1 is 2, you know it. Then there's a deeper kind of a thing. Because the deeper steps of life is, you only learn by mistakes. Only by mistakes. I want to tell you something. I don't know the subways in Montreal, I know the subway in New York. Here I'm sitting on the subway, and suddenly, I can't believe it, this absolutely beautiful girl is sitting on the other side, and it's clear to me in my heart, this is my soulmate. You know? Okay, I'm walking up to her, and I say, hey, where are you from? Let's say she says from Borough Park, right? And what's going on there? What's her name? Let's say my name is Chana. What's your telephone? Oh, Borough Park number 535-3365, let's say. Don't have a pen, oh, I don't have a pencil. In the meantime, the door opens, she's gone. I'm coming home, 4th Street, 5, that I remember. Was it 3365 or 3566? Can't remember. Open your hearts, friends. Can you imagine for 2,000 years I'm dialing every combination? And suddenly, by mistake, I dialed the right combination without knowing what it is. And she's on the phone. You know how deep this is? Will you tell me that if I would written down a telephone number and dial, after half hour dial her number, is it the same? It'll never be the same. It'll never be the same. I want you to know, according to our tradition, Israel is the headquarters for learning by mistakes. It's so deep, it's so deep. You know Chanukah? Chanukah is the only holiday we have which happened in Israel. You know, we have Passover, happened in Egypt, right? Shavuos, giving the Torah on Mount Sinai, outside Israel. Purim, definitely in Shushan, right? In Iran. Chanukah is a holiday, they defiled the Holy Temple, the Greeks took over, and there was nothing left, and we started over again. And here I want you to know something. Why is it so hard to learn from mistakes? Because imagine I make the same mistake 2,000 times. You know what happens to me? I don't have strength anymore. I'm giving up. You know what it means? There's one light which was there for one night, couldn't last anymore. We're at the end. I just have strength for one more day, that's it. You know, until the Maccabees came, why did we give up? Because we don't have strength. We don't have the strength. We are just a few, and there's this huge